I give full credit to what Caitlin Clark has been able to do on the Arizona or on the women's basketball
Be
front.
careful here, Mike.
I
Just
know
be careful.
she
We
is
agree.
absolutely
Be careful.
she is absolutely fantastic. I watch her play, and to me, she's different than all of the other players that have been hyped. The Ionescu's. Ionescu plays like another one of the players out there. Caitlin Clark looks totally different. But can we please stop comparing the men's and the women's game? Because I think it diminishes both. These are totally different aspects. I get that ESPN is trying to push it, but we don't talk about, we don't talk about this like who's the greatest UFC fighter ever, and then name John Jones and the best women's fighter. The women's and the men's game is just totally different from a physicality, from a verticality, from a style of play. It's just totally different. So with this debate about Pete Maravich and Caitlin Clark, there is no comparison between it because they're not the same thing. These are apples and oranges. I don't understand. Well, I understand why ESPN is pushing it, but can we please stop with this?
It's ignoring reality. Like, there was no 3-point line when Pete Maravich did it. He did it in 3 years, and it's a different game. It was a different game back then. Like, with the men's game, when you're comparing men to men, like, and she's great, but like the combination, we don't do it when a man breaks a record, right?
Right.
Like, we don't, like when LeBron scored 30 points in a game or whatever. We don't say, well, that's the most in NBA and WNBA history. Like,
Right.
it's just right. And she's great. Like, she's awesome. I love watching her. I don't mind good women's basketball. I went to women's basketball the other day. It's a weird situation to me. You're comparing completely different sports, level of play, all that.
Like nobody goes in there and compare, and again, it just kind of looks differently. And again, this isn't a slight because Caitlin Clark is fantastic. But I'll just give you an idea. Like if I watch, say, women's golf or women's tennis, it looks like the man's game. It's not the same, but it looks like when you watch women's basketball, it's just different. They move differently. They don't have the verticality. They don't have the explosion. They're very skilled. And, that is absolutely a testament. But it's like what Shaq says. He's like, well, if you want more people to watch, bring the rim down to 8 feet. That's not true either, because when people like about the slam dunk, is not the dunk itself. It's how far you're getting off the ground, the acrobatics involved. Nobody is going to care more if you're not getting off the ground and you're getting a dunk on an 8-foot rim. Again, it's just different. And that's not to diminish what she's doing, but it's the only sport that they keep trying to push this in, and it's getting very annoying.
Yeah, it's just weird. It really is, because, and I get why ESPN's doing it. I completely understand it. It's not like offensive or anything like that. But I don't like when anyone like compares, narratives. And T Burns says it great right there. Like, we don't compare McDonald to Sean Elliott when they play for national. Like, we just don't do it. Like when there's when someone hits a home run, we don't say that's the longest home run in baseball and softball history. Like, it's different, which is fine. It's fine.
And Ryan Neal, well, if we want to do this, then that's not necessarily true because she doesn't have the most NCAA points of all time, men or women. Well, if you want to do that, then why not bring Division II in? Why not bring Division III in? And they are comparing them, because how many times were they talking about during that 3-point shootout with Steph Curry and Ionescu? Well, who's the best shooter in professional basketball? It's Steph Curry, and that's okay. Again, the women's game has made huge leaps, but again, it's just not the same thing. And I wish it's the only sport where they keep trying to push this in. And I don't, again, to me, it's annoying. Just let both of them, they can both be great. And that's just kind of where I'm at with this. I would just like this to stop because it's the only sport that they're doing this in. And I understand why ESPN is trying to push this narrative, but let's please stop. That is all I ask. They are both great.